if it's one of those things where, and this is a diocese, country, a state, whole Catholic Christianity, any spirituality thing. You know, I don't know if it's just my like involvement. You know, like my years of being involved, or like having like a role that's so close to, you know, seeing, you know, like what the church, you know, the parish level of a church does day in and day out, and like it, you know, revamping, you know, my identity and my connections with everything. But like, you know, everything I see, you know, I see being done, and it's good and bad both ways. But everything, I just look at it as like just how important and pivotal of a moment in time this is. And at the same time, it's always that important and pivotal. Everything we do needs to be looked at. Yeah, okay, you know, maybe not everything, but a lot of things, like with taken gravely and with that gravity of like how important is this? How, like, you know, we only have today. We only have like this one shot to have this kid as a freshman, because they'll be a sophomore no matter what. Like, time's always moving forward, and you know, I just wonder like if other, you know, how other, you know, communities, ministries, parishes, dioceses, whatever you want to call it, like how they are combating, you know, this same period in time, and if they do see it as, okay, we need to spearhead this, and this. We need to make sure that this is great, and this is great. Or they just kind of like rolling with the punches of like, oh, it's Sunday again. Make sure everyone's at mass, and we'll put out the flyer tomorrow for the week, and you know, we'll see the kids, and we'll read the story, and we'll teach them a prayer, and we'll do it with them 4 times, and you know, they'll be gone for the week. You know, I don't know, I just greatly infatuated with it. I don't know.
That's a good. I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's a problem that does need to be addressed and solved and explored. But I want to branch it out to just not just like church communities or religious groups, but just community. Like, what communities are thriving? Because then you learn from them. Learn from the ones that are working, who are going beyond to really at least set a foundation or find a foundation to start with, and then from there add the aspects and then the walls and boundaries and safety nets that are required by said parish, diocese, and whatnot, right? But right now, the main thing is don't look in the small pool of things. Look in the bigger pool. What communities are working? Streamers are working.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why are they working? Because they're consistent. They're on every day.
Yeah.
Or for the most part, they have some kind of connection with them every day. Okay, is that viable? Can we do that? Maybe not. Most likely not. So what can you do? And the thing, if people are just gonna fall back to, oh, we'll just go with our usual once a week gathering, that's where you already fail. Because at that point, you're only making a slight change to accommodate your needs, not the needs of the group. And I would argue that having multiple days of being online streaming, even if you don't get everyone there, at least there's an opportunity for some youth to see you and interact with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes me wonder, like, you know, what groups of individuals are thriving. And you know, you said streamers. I mean, okay, you could say streamers, you could say influencers, you could say YouTubers, right, or content creators. And what do they all have in common? It's because their information isn't always the same. Their medium isn't always the same.
Correct.
Their style, their group that they talk, everything's like, all those things are different. Like, but I don't know. What I see similar is the ability to self-regulate, kind of, where like they realize that, you know, it's either on me or it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. You know, it's going to happen. Either I make it go or it's not going to go at all. And I guess it's the ability, like you said, the safety nets. While there's for some people look at them as safety nets, other people see them as trap nets, right? They're stuck. They're trying to get through this, that. Oh, they need to be safe environment trained, so I can bring this one person in who I know will be great at it. Oh, I gotta, reserve this spot and make sure everyone's wearing a mask. But like this group of people won't come because I have to have a mask, and this group of people won't come because the other group of people want to be there who don't. So like there's safety nets for the larger groups, and I guess from there it goes, like the self-regulation, being regulated by an outer authority, and that's like the big thing that a lot of anti-mask conservative people are about. Like, oh, the outside authority, it's too much this, that, the other. But that's a whole different story that we're not going to get into. We are way out of that realm. But like, what other communities, are thriving that we can like take some little, piece of information from?
Well, you brought some good points, and I think from there it's continuing to really, I guess, really explore, because right now we could just make guesses and assumptions, and we haven't really dove in to these communities.
Because I think we'll say, people like that dude's thriving, right? His job, like he's been able to, not once did he have to stop working. Like his whole thing all the way through, he's able to buy a brand new car in the midst of a freaking car shortage. He's stacking up paper, like IT, right? People in IT, I think, are all about the same. They don't have to go into office. Not all, but a good majority of their work is from afar.
At that point, though, it's the context of what they have to do. Because when it comes to IT work, right, you don't need to be in a community for that, right?
It's true.
A lot of it's individual, project-based. Well, if you're looking at relational ministry and just overall church building and just community building, you need to have that interaction.
Because
right?
you're community-based at that point. You're not
Correct.
project-based.